Hi guys, welcome back. Another live stream. This one's going to be for college football week 7. Should be some great games going on. As you can tell, I probably look tired. I'm probably going to go to bed in a little while. It is late, but needed to get this week 7 college football video in. I added another feature. I added in my top 10 that I believe are the top 10 in college football this year. I was going to do Heisman Watch, but even halfway through the year, too many candidates right now. I mean, no clear cut. I mean, obviously, a lot of people would say Tua as the front runner, but there are a lot of people with him. So I'm just going to wait at least another week just to see which of these Heisman candidates plays well in the primetime games and is clutch. So I'm going to start it off with the top 25. Ohio State, a 29.5 point favorite against Minnesota. Minnesota has a decent defense, but they're not going to slow Ohio State down that much. Ohio State had a little bit of trouble with Indiana for a little while, but they ended up winning big, but not covering the spread. I see that happening this week as well. I see them winning by 20-something, but I don't think they're going to cover the 29.5 point spread. That's high. Number 5, Notre Dame against Pittsburgh. Notre Dame is a 21-point favorite. Notre Dame has looked great this year, especially with Ian Book at quarterback. He is the best quarterback for the job there, and their offense is rolling, their defense is rolling with him. They're scary good right now. I picked them to cover this 21-point spread. It is a tad high. They are playing a Power 5 school in Pittsburgh who has a little momentum after they beat Syracuse in overtime last week. But I think Notre Dame covers this 21-point spread. Number 6, West Virginia at Iowa State. Now, Iowa State has a losing record, if I remember correctly, but don't sleep on them. They are a good, solid team. They can play defense. They're one of the better defensive Big 12 teams, as is West Virginia. West Virginia has a decent defense. West Virginia is a 6.5 point favorite. I'm going to pick West Virginia to just cover that. I think they win by 7. This is not going to be an easy game, but I think West Virginia pulls it out and wins this one in the end. Number 7, Washington at number 17, Oregon. Washington is a 3.5 point favorite. This is going to be one of the marquee matchups of the week. It is at 2:30 on ABC, if I remember correctly. This will be a great game, entertaining game. This could decide who makes the college football playoff for the Pac-12 if they get a representative. Oregon had that really tough loss to Stanford when they should have won that easily. They didn't win, but Washington, that one loss to Auburn, that loss is looking worse and worse. But Washington has looked good this year, but I don't know. I'm going to pick Washington to not cover, and I'm going to pick Oregon to win this one by 1. I just think Oregon's going to do it. They're ready for an upset. Justin Herbert is a great quarterback. He can run, he can throw. They've got a good running game and a decent Ducks defense, one of the best Oregon defenses I remember seeing. Number 8, Penn State against Michigan State. Penn State, a 13.5 point favorite. Michigan State, a loss to Northwestern by 10 last week. I don't know what to think of them. But they always play well against rivalry games like Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan. Even when they're not good, it seems like they do. I think Penn State's going to win, but I do not think they will cover that 13.5 point spread. It's a pretty decent spread, but I just think Michigan State's just going to play well enough to stay somewhat in the game. Number 9, Texas. Texas rose a lot after their win against Oklahoma. Number 9, Texas against Baylor. Baylor can score, but their defense is trash as usual. Texas is a 14-point favorite. I think Texas is going to cover that spread. I think they're going to win by 2 or 3 touchdowns. And Baylor's just, they don't have the defense to keep up. Number 10, UCF at Memphis. This will be one of UCF's harder challenges. This is their hardest challenge so far, most likely. Memphis can score the ball, score points, but their defense is sketchy as usual. UCF is a 4.5 point favorite. I see UCF winning this one much more than that by 2 touchdowns. I think they'll cover that spread. Number 12, Michigan against number 15 Wisconsin. At home is Michigan. Michigan a 9.5-point favorite. That is a little high for me, even though it is at Michigan's home. I just don't see them winning by 9.5. I don't think they win. Period. I think Wisconsin's gonna pull this one out. Wisconsin is gonna win this by just a few points. Michigan will not cover that spread. Number 16 Miami, a 6.5-point favorite at Virginia. A lot of people say Virginia, that's an easy win. Virginia's not a bad team. They gave Miami a close game last year until the very end when things unraveled. Virginia's not a bad team. They've got a decent defense, decent offense. I mean, they can play all right. I think Virginia's going to give Miami some trouble. Miami's a 6.5-point favorite. I don't think Miami covers that spread, but I do believe Miami's going to pull this one out by around a field goal. Miami is really not that good. They can't score that well, and they rely on turnovers to win the game. And when you play against marquee teams, turnovers, you're not going to get a whole lot of turnovers. And you're not going to do that. I just don't think Miami has what it takes to beat top-level teams. Number 19, Colorado at USC. Now, this is interesting. Colorado is 5-0, one of the undefeateds in the country. They're on the road at USC, who's had a up-and-down year, to say the least. And USC is a 7-point favorite. Vegas doesn't really like Colorado. I think Colorado's pretty decent. They're not top 10 and probably not even top 15, but they are a good team. I think they beat USC. I think they win around 3 or 4 points. USC will not cover. And the game that went on tonight, don't worry, I did pick this game before it went on tonight. Number 23, USF at Tulsa. USF, South Florida, was a 7-point favorite. Tulsa was horrible defense. I picked USF to more than cover the 7-point spread. They didn't do that. They won by 1 point. They had to come back to beat Tulsa, who is not a very good football team. So they should drop out of the top 25, in my opinion. Excuse me. The SEC, number 1, Alabama at home against Missouri. Alabama's a 28-point favorite. I think Alabama is going to cover that right on the nose, right around it. Missouri will score some points on Alabama. They will be able to, but Alabama is just going to score as many times as they think they need to against Missouri. Shouldn't be that close of a game. Number 2, Georgia at number 13, LSU. Georgia, a 7.5-point favorite on the road. That is a little high. I don't think LSU wins this game. I don't see LSU winning this, even though it is in Death Valley. I do see Georgia winning, but I do not see Georgia covering the 7.5-point spread. It should be a very close game, very not overly entertaining. Should be a pretty defensive game. Number 14, Florida at Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt can be a tough place to play, can be. But Florida is a 7-point favorite on the road. I just don't really think it's going to be... Whoops, drop my paper. I just really don't think it's going to be that close. I think Florida wins by 2 or 3 touchdowns, and they cover the 7-point spread. Whoever's watching, shout out to you for watching and giving me a thumbs up. Number 21, Auburn, a 15.5-point favorite at home against Tennessee. Auburn is a 15.5-point favorite. I think Auburn covers this. I think they win by 3 touchdowns. Tennessee, their defense is okay, but they are not good on offense. And I see Auburn bouncing back a little bit on offense, and their defense is good. No mistake about that. They'll hold Tennessee to not many points. I think Auburn will have a decent game. They will score 30 points or so and hold Tennessee to around 10. Number 22, Texas A&M, 2.5-point favorite on the road against South Carolina. This could be a good game. I could see Texas A&M winning big, but I could also see South Carolina pulling this one out because A&M is so inconsistent. They've always been that way. They can go play well against Alabama, or they can go beat some high-level team, and then the next week they can lose to someone they should not lose to, or have a bad game like they did against Arkansas a few weeks ago. But I think A&M will cover the 2.5-point spread. I think they win by 3, 4, 5, something like that. I think they will. Ole Miss at Arkansas. Ole Miss is a 7-point favorite. You guys know I'm an Ole Miss fan. I also live in Arkansas. So this is an interesting matchup here. Neither team is that good. Ole Miss has an atrocious defense. Arkansas, not really good at anything, but they are showing signs of improvement. Ole Miss has some of the best receivers in the country, if not the best, and a good quarterback, a great offense. But it is inconsistent. If Ole Miss offense shows up and shows out, puts the pressure on Arkansas, I think Ole Miss will win this game. I'm picking Ole Miss to win this game, but not cover the 7-point spread. I think it'll be a shootout. It'll be in the 40s, I believe. And Ole Miss takes this one by around 3 or 4 points. Not by a touchdown, 3 or 4 points. I could see Ole Miss winning by more than that, but I do not think they will. I could see Arkansas winning as well. But I just think Ole Miss has the better team, better talent, better players. But that means nothing, though, in college football. You never know. And on to my top 10 teams that I have ranked. And this is just based on performance so far, okay? Some of these teams in here I am picking. Keep up the good work. I hope you can gain subs quickly and reach your goal. Well, thank you, Planet Zay. Thank you for watching. This is just, I know a few of these teams in here I am picking. 2 of these teams in here I'm picking to lose this week, but I'm still putting them in here just because on performance this year and how they have played, just how they have looked so far. Well, we all know who number 1 is, so that's who I'm going to start with. Number 1 is Alabama. Number 2 I have as Ohio State. Not a big surprise, the first 2. Now number 3, maybe a surprise, is Notre Dame. I have them ahead of Georgia. I have Georgia at number 4. Notre Dame has looked good. Georgia has looked decent. So that's why I moved Georgia down to 4. Number 5, somewhat of a surprise to a lot of people, is Penn State. I thought Penn State was the better team against Ohio State. Ohio State sneaked out of there with a victory. So I have Penn State highly rated. They are a good football team. Really good. Number 6 is Clemson. I have them lower than a lot of people do. Clemson, they have a good defense, and they have a good running back. Nothing really else. I mean, they're barely a top 10 team, really. I mean, they're a little overrated to me. But they could prove me wrong, as they probably will. But number 7, from the Big 12. But it may not be who you expect. It may be West Virginia. I have West Virginia as in the number 7 spot. Number 8 I have as Washington. Even though I think Washington loses this week, they have been one of the top 10 teams this year in my opinion so far. Number 9 is LSU. Also, I have LSU losing this week, but they have been one of the top 10 teams this year in my opinion. I mean, this top 10 list is stacked. And number 10, it agrees with the AP poll, and it is UCF. I have UCF as the number 10 team. UCF, solid offense. They can score with anybody. Defense, question mark. Never know. And they have scheduled a lot of weak opponents. But that is my top 10, guys. Let me know what you think in the comment sections below. I hope you guys are enjoying the content that I'm bringing. And I wish I could, I'm trying to get to my goal of 1,000 subs eventually. I know that's not doable right now, but trying to get to 100 at least right now. But I'll catch you guys later. God bless, and I hope you guys have fun watching college football tomorrow. See you guys later.